Good afternoon. I've got a couple of Zelcova Serratas, which are Japanese elms here. I bought them off eBay. It cost me a fiver each, or was it £6 each? They're pretty thin, to be fair. They're not much of a matchstick, and but it's a tree that I've wanted for a while. So as you can see, they're blowing about in the wind a fair bit. I actually repotted them into these bigger pots. They came in really quite small ones, and particularly this tree, I need to support this because we do get things quite windy, and so I'm going to put some wire on it. So there's barely any wind today. It's a really calm day, and because these these trunks are so thin, I mean, these trees are blowing around. When we get some proper winds, which we're bound to get in the next couple of months, I just don't think, I think they'll just snap. So I need to use some wire. So before I put these wires on, I want to talk to you about the third tree. I went mad on it. I tried to do a root prune. I got it down to a ridiculously small amount of root at the wrong time of year. I tried to plant it out in the ground on a tile. It's just, I did everything wrong, and it told me so. Here's a picture of it now. So I've cut quite a long piece of wire. I think that's about 2.5, maybe 2 mil. It's plenty strong enough to bend this. But the main reason I'm using it is I'm going to put it right into the soil quite deep and use it almost as a stake to support this tree. And while I'm doing that, I may as well add a bit of movement as well. There's no point doing it and not, because I don't want just a straight tree. So all I'm going to do is push this into the soil. There's a slight curve this way towards the camera, so that's the way I'll go with the wire. It goes in nice and easy all the way until it gets to the bottom. And at this stage now, I'm just going to be really careful if I can, and just be as gentle as possible. And just coil this wire around the trunk like that. These have both got leaves on them, each of these branches at the bottom, so I'm going to come up the taller of the two and be really careful not to damage any of the buds. They're supposed to be really tough, these little trees, but having come through the post, the British mail system, which I suppose it's like everywhere in the world, it maybe doesn't get treated with the care that you'd like when you're dealing with plants, but they've made it. I'm just doing a fairly loose coil up here, up to the top, and that's nice. So that's nicely supported by the wire, which is great. And all I want to do now is just maybe add some movement to this trunk. I don't want to make this crazy. They're an elegant tree, so I don't want it contorted like a juniper or a hawthorn. So all I'm going to do is a bit of movement that way, and a bit of movement back, maybe a little more, and I think that's job done. So I've done the same with this tree. I ran the wire to the bottom of the pot and I've just run it up to here, and design wise I think I'm basically going to do the same as I did with the other tree really, just a gentle bend. I don't want anything too daft with these. I'll just go to one side, back over, and perhaps up and out with that. And that's enough for me with that tree. Let this get on with surviving. So thanks for joining me today. My Japanese elm, I'm down to 2 out of 3, but I've got hopes for them. They're going to take plenty of years to develop, but you know, if you don't start at some point, you'll never start. Just wanted to show you this. It's coming into lovely flower, and it's a Azalea, an Azalea should I say, from B&M Bargains. There were two, it was like a twin trunk kind of thing. I thought I'll split them up, and when I started I passed the point of no return and I ended up absolutely hacking the roots to pieces, and I just didn't think they were going to survive. I think I cut them with a saw in the end because they were so intertwined. But this is the better one and it's coming into flower beautifully, so I'm really happy about it. What I'm going to do with it going forward in terms of bonsai, I don't know, but I'll be able to look at that probably in the winter and see if I can start looking at designing it as a bonsai. But just a beautiful plant anyway. It doesn't all have to be about miniaturization. Sometimes it's just nice to grow nice plants. So thanks for joining me today. As always, it's a pleasure. I'll see you soon.